Welcome to Passion Vista Podcast, the platform where we celebrate extraordinary individuals who lead us with heart, create with vision, and transform the world through their passion. And I am your host, Neetu Marwaha. Today's topic is charisma. Charisma is invisible spark that makes some people unforgettable. But is it a gift or a skill we can all learn? To answer this, I'm joined today by a woman who embodies presence in every sense. Ute Pfeifer is not only an accomplished entrepreneur and international business leader, she is a coach and retreat guide who helps people step into their most authentic, magnetic selves. She is also a proud mother and an energetic grandmother of three grandchildren, bringing together authority and warmth in a way that captivates everyone she meets. Her story tells us that charisma isn't about perfection, it's about presence, authenticity, and the courage to connect. Who better than Ute Pfeifer to reveal whether charisma can truly be learned or how to explore it? So we are joined with Ute Pfeifer. Welcome to the show, Ute ji. How are you doing today?
Thanks, I'm very fine, and I'm so happy that we meet today and that we have the opportunity to talk about this really interesting subject. And it is interesting for most of people, especially for those who want to be successful in their life. And the question is, can charisma be learned? And I believe I have good messages worth presenting.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I'm equally super excited because this topic is very close to my heart equally, and I'm very curious to explore further how we will be discussing and elaborating this beautiful topic. So, to begin with, Ute, when you think of charisma, do you see it as something people are born with or something life teaches us along the way?
Okay, this is a good question, but I think as first step, we should clarify what is meant by charisma. Most people think it is an attractive aura or a personal magnetism that earns admiration, devotion, or the ability to influence others. Something that seems to give a person a certain irresistibility. That may be true in some ways, but it is much more than that. Although I give my clients clear tips on how to work with charisma and with a charismatic appearance during my coaching sessions, I have to say that charisma does not come from superficial tricks, but from an attitude that combines self acceptance with genuine appreciation for others. Those who are inwardly convinced I'm enough, and at the same time focus on the other person, you are important for me, automatically develop a charisma that attracts people. In short, charisma is less a technique than an attitude, a balance between self confidence and empathic openness. Technique, for instance, sit upright, have an open face, make symmetrical movements, take your time and space while talking in a group is helpful. But the initial training success is, let me say, still to come.
Correct, correct. I completely agree with you on this. It's completely a technique which, if you're balanced, I think you win the race, you win the game. Very beautifully explained. So, you have worked with leaders across industries. What's the difference between someone who simply has authority and someone who truly has charisma?
Yes. In this case, I will give you an example. Imagine two groups of shipwrecked people. Both groups want to leave the island by boat as quickly as possible. One group has a good manager and the other group has a good leader. The manager thinks about how the group can leave the island as quickly and efficiently as possible, assign tasks, for example, who will scout out the best construction site, who will collect the wood, who will think about the size and construction of the boat, who will observe the weather conditions and water currents, etc. The leader tells his people about his dream, how wonderful it would be to be back home again, how happy their families would be, and how good they would feel again. He talks about their warm sheltered homes, the delicious food and cozy beds, and he tells them that he is absolutely convinced that they will return back home. And you can surely see the difference and identify the more charismatic person. Good leaders who have that certain something more than just authority, who have this charisma, have and communicate visions and inspire people so they can see the big picture and work towards this. Is your question answered now?
Absolutely, and I completely agree with you. What a beautiful narration of, how actually authority can win over charisma. I mean, sorry, the charisma can win over the authority because uh, it's the charisma which actually changes your mindset and makes you win the that situation you are in, and you beautifully accomplish your task.
Exactly. And people are motivated and they like to work and they like their leader, yes, and they burn for the things they are doing. This exactly is when you work for a charismatic person.
Correct, absolutely. So many of us admire charisma from Errol or doubt in it in ourselves. We already find out whether you're correct or not. So, what's the first step for someone who feels invisible in a crowd to begin discovering their own magnetic presence?
Ah, yes, feeling seen or not in its deeper meaning has, I have to say, nothing to do whether you have charisma or not, but it's rather a question of your inner personality. When someone feels invisible, it might have to do with insecurity, stressful key experience, inner convictions. The question does not require charisma techniques, but something deeper, access to your own self-image. People can quickly find this access when they become aware of their own status. And this is very interesting what I have to tell you in matters of the own status. It is not about power, money and position, this status, but about self-esteem and how one feels about oneself in relation to others. Every person has usually chosen a favorite status as their own main strategy for life: low, equal, or high status. Those who demonstrate a weak position through their behavior are in a low status. Those who feel equal are in an equal status, and those who demonstrate their dominance through their behavior are in a high status. I think this is the status issue explained in brief. But I will go on. If you find out that you are mostly in low status and feel accordingly, you can ask yourself whether you want to maintain this for your entire life or whether there should be a better alternative for you and whether you can work on it. You could consciously observe how you feel and how you act. By the way, there are people who feel they are constantly in low status but try to act in high status, and that causes enormous stress and costs a lot of power. I will introduce to you what has your status to do with your body language. Low status means submissive body language. It shows deference, sometimes extreme politeness, or uncertainty. Typical gestures and behaviors are avoiding eye contact or looking down, slouching or lowering the shoulders, keeping hands close to the body or fidgeting, or nodding often to show agreement. People who are in equal status, they have a neutral body language. They show openness, confidence, and equality. They maintain in relaxed posture, making regular eye contact, using natural hand gestures, and have a comfortable use of space. People who are in high status, they have a dominant body language. It shows confidence, authority, or even control. They stand or sit always upright, chest out, spreading arms or legs slightly to occupy space, direct, steady eye contact, and they move in slow, deliberate gestures and have minimal fidgeting. So you can see or have an idea in what kind of status people are at the moment, and you can observe yourself and maybe try to improve or you can correct yourself within a group or wherever you are to find out what is best for me. And I think nobody wants to stay forever all his life in this low status. And you can learn it, and you can learn it how to feel better inwards. And this is charismatic training.
Wonderful, wonderful. I must say, I think you are emphasizing on key points which we we just don't pay attention to, in our daily when we meet people, we observe this. Uh, They are the ones who are trying to do all the habits that you actually mentioned, and actually narrated it so beautifully. And I think with Ute that the topic we have chosen today, charisma, is so beautiful. It's so amazing that I'm really enjoying the show, the Q&A that we are doing. That I think this is going to be a great content for viewers, and our viewers are going to be loud because I'm sure the further questions that we're going to discuss will narrate down and emphasize more on what is the beauty of charisma, and how actually you gonna win if you're going to follow this. Miss Ute, you emphasize listening as much as speaking. How does the way we listen change the energy we bring into a room?
Did I mention? I'm not quite sure, but well, the ability to listen to others makes them feel understood, which is helpful in relation to others and in getting in touch with them. In general, I can give you this advice. You make friends by making people feel comfortable in your presence. Yes, that should you keep in your mind.
I
You make friends by making people comfortable in your presence. This is like a golden rule. And it is said that listening is just important as speaking. And I agree, but you cannot give a charismatic speech just by listening. You need a message, and you must show yourself for who you really are and for what you stand for. And the better you think about yourself, the better you can show yourself. That has to do with one's own self-appreciation. And it's always about congruence between what you feel and what you say. These are very important messages in matters of charisma.
agree. I agree. And so beautifully defined, and how charisma can actually change the communication between the two people or in a meeting, or how can you leave an impact to others when you carry the charisma.
I think it's very important that you are open, yes, and there is no prejudgment of people. So be open, listen what people have to say, give answers which are friendly, which show that you are a person who is interested in the other person, who is open, a person who is interested in the world. And look at me or look at you. I'm from Germany, you're from India, and as far as I can say, and as far as got you to know, yes, we are very open people, you and me. And this makes it so attractive and so appealing to have this conversation today.
Completely beautiful and informative. And I completely agree that openness is very essential to have a healthy communication, which is truthful and appreciative for each other. Very nice. So, moving further to our next question. Storytelling is often called the heartbeat of charisma. Do you believe Hans' story worth telling, and how can people find the courage to share their soul?
First of all, I would like to say thank you for this question because it is about talking and communicating with others. Some details we already mentioned, but I will tell you it is not storytelling what makes people appealing. It is more about the message. I already mentioned it is about knowledge and experience they have and share openly with others. My advice is train yourself in small talk to get in touch with others. In brief, talk about uncomplicated and if possible positive topics. Storytelling often involves stories from the past, but we live in the here and now. Having a good general knowledge and being able to handle facts and information makes you attractive. I'm addressing this particularly to women who tend to talk about emotion and relationships in conversations. And I tell these women, dare to shine with facts. But it is important not to be lecturing, and that applies to both women and, I have to admit, especially to men. Small talk is casual, superficial a bit, superficial conversation that usually serves to create a pleasant atmosphere. Build rapport, or better, rapport, that means harmony with others and avoid embarrassing silence. Typical topics include the weather, everyday life, hobbies, travel, or current events. All what is not too personal and too controversial. The goals of small talk are building relationship. This creates a connection between people, especially in new or formal situations. And have in mind, small talk is an icebreaker. Small talk is the door opener, and it can be applied for getting easier in deeper conversations. And it is a feel good factor. It creates a pleasant atmosphere and, yes, has a socially connecting effect.
Wonderful.
So it's less about, so I will summarize, it's less about storytelling, it is more to be in the here and now and in the situation and have good words and good ideas how to communicate with others. This makes you attractive.
Beautiful. So well defined and well summarized. And I am with you in this. Wonderful. So, Miss Ute, confidence without arrogance is rare. So, can you share a moment in your own journey where you learned to balance the two?
Mhm. I have to tell you, I've never had to ask myself that question, but I know what you mean. It is about being aware of your abilities without degrading others. In short, you can say, Confident people don't need to prove anything. They have an air of calm, respect and clarity about themselves and about the things, and they rest in themselves. Arrogant people want to impress and often lose sympathy in this process. The topic of how to come across as likable person contributing your knowledge and skills without appearing arrogant could also fill an entire podcast session. And I will tell you, I'm open to this topic for another podcast. Listeners would benefit greatly from this because arrogant people often lose sympathy when it would be important to gain it.
Absolutely, I agree with this, with you on this thing that it's so important to be balancing both the situations and your thoughts on this and carry it. And I think that's the reason we say that the charismatic people know how to balance and carry themselves beautifully, and they're the ones who create the charisma in a meeting, in a gathering, and we get impressed. So I think if everyone works on their charisma,
Yes,
on their cells, uh, they'll be beautiful and amazing speakers and leaders and creating good examples for others.
yes, charismatic people know exactly when it's important to say something and when
Correct.
it's
I
better
agree. So
not
what
to
do you
say something. Yes.
think, Miss Ute, that this comes naturally or one has to practice it every day, every week? What is your opinion on this?
Yes, it depends on your personality. Some have to practice it, like an exercise, and others, they have the ability, yes, to act like this. But you can do your exercises. Yes, today I would like to make this exercise for me to grow in my abilities as a charismatic person. Yes, why not? Because younger people, yes, need to do some exercises, yes, and they will grow with this. And I think our podcast and our exchange, our conversation will give important hints and advices, especially to younger people, how to develop this charismatic person I want to be. Well, as possible, and as soon as possible, especially. But I think go on step by step.
I agree. I completely agree. So, would you like to share some tools or techniques that, the viewers can practice and they can increase in their charisma?
Yes, if you like, I can give you some skills, yes, and to practice this. Yes, I can give. Okay, yes, this is a good idea. So I would like to give our audience some advice or some examples how to grow and how to improve their own charisma. And I have to tell you, I'm really happy that you give me this opportunity to give support to our listeners in this very moment in gaining charisma, which has, as we have learned, to do one part with your inner self, and the other, it is a matter of your attitude towards yourself and towards others. It has to do with self-esteem and your outer self and which is your appearance. So first, for your inner self, I give you the first one. Imagine your life story as an ocean with countless treasures slumbering at the bottom. Dive down to the bottom in your mind and bring 5 treasures to the surface. This could be eloquence, reliability, clarity, logical thinking, creativity, certain practical skills, for instance, organizational skills, or special knowledge. Use these valuable and wonderful resources for your further development and work with them. If you are aware of your abilities and use them for good, then you are well on your way to becoming a charismatic person. This is a wonderful exercise, and I like it very much, and I will tell you I work with this exercise, or I started to work this exercise in my early years. And I will give you another example, another exercise for your exterior. And this definitely is maybe the easiest step. Check that you are dressed in a friendly manner. That may sound a bit strange, but dressing neatly makes you attractive. Your clothing should be clean, not too loose, not too tight, light colors, as we have, you and me. Perfect. Yes. Maybe some splashes of color or a necklace or something like this. Develop something which you really like and which you can call your own style. That makes you authentic. And pay attention to your shoes. Your shoes, right? You understood correctly.
Correct.
This is my secret tip because there is a saying, show me your shoes and I'll tell you who you are. And so the question, who do you want to be? And one more thing, don't set your expectations too high. You don't have to have the charisma of a pop star or an influential politician from now on. Enjoy small successes and allow yourself space to grow. This is what I would like to tell the audience, and I would like to have it that people have these tips in their heart and try it the coming days or the coming weeks.
I'm sure the viewers are going to actually notice and you know pay attention to these key points because they look very small. They look as if they're not important, but I completely agree with you on this. How beautifully you have defined. They're very small skills and steps, but I think they make a lot of difference.
Exactly, it's this way, and you have not to have the full success at this very point and at this very moment. Yes, all things, good things, take their time, and be patient with you. Go on step for step. This is the best. And most people, the successful ones, started small in their life.
Yes, yes. Tiny small steps make all the difference.
Exactly.
Great. So, my next question is that humor and warmth are often overlooked. Have you seen moments where a touch of humor or empathy completely transformed the way people connected with you?
Yes, I can tell you something about humor because I experienced humor in my professional life, and sometimes it was very good, and sometimes it was less good. So I can say in general that humor often helps to ease the tension in business meetings, for instance. But when there was a concentrated working atmosphere, even a little joke would have been completely inappropriated and everyone would have felt surprised. Humor reduces tension. That's true, both in private and business settings. But the key is to use it consciously and subtly, in a nuanced way that is appropriate to the situation and brings people together without hurting anyone. It's about making small comments that break the ice, not jokes, especially not at the expense of others. So, in short, I can state. So, in short, I can state. Humor reduces tension, lightens the mood, reduces stress, creates sympathy, and creates connection because it promotes trust and it increases the attention because focuses on the essentials. Appropriate forms are self-depreciating, love about yourself. Situational, refer to what you have just experienced without embarrassing others. And what people like most are wordplay or gentle exaggerations, short surprising turns of phrases. So you can say do's are comment lightly and spontaneously, keep it short, and don'ts are no jokes at the expense of others, no hurtful sarcasm, and no long comedy sets. I think you have now a full package what humor in maybe professional but also private life can mean, can be. You have to have a good sense for this.
Correct.
And
Absolutely.
always good jokes.
Correct.
Yes.
So, uh, moving forward, I would like to ask that presence is often described as being fully in the moment. In a distracted world, what practices help you and your clients show up with true
Yes.
presence?
Thank you for this question. Being completely in the moment means focusing entirely on what is happening right now or what is on your mind right now. I like to work visually because in our visual world, this allows most people to quickly get into the here and now. In coaching, this can be done using specific collages or picture cards. To help my clients arrive well in the moment, I show them in individuals or in group sessions, for example, a collage with pictures of many doors. This can be a huge metal gate with decorations like those found on country estates or simple wooden doors that could lead to a secret garden, a stone portal, a simple room door, etc. My question is, which door did you come in through? Then I ask the clients to explain why they choose that particular door. It's always interesting both to tell and to listen to, for example, in a group. This way I learn a lot about the person and always feel how the clients get deeper into their concentration and arrive in the here and now. Or I have another game, let me say. I show them a collage of means of transport. For example, a photo of a ship, a tram, a Formula One car, an elephant, a horse, etc. And I ask them, why did you choose this car or what else? You would be surprised what people learn about themselves in this process. When someone explains that she or he feels like driving a Formula One car, they may realize at this moment how much stress they have and how challenged they feel. Sometimes clients like to walk on a high rope. You know what it is, like an acrobat. This is my transport mean. And together we figure out why life feels that way now and how best to deal with the situation. Sometimes, and this is the easiest exercise, however, I always show very general photos, such as a mountain peak, a jigsaw puzzle, a ball of wood, of wool, whatever you like, and clients must choose the photo that best suits them and best describes the situation. The advantage of these methods are that sometimes when you are missing words, you have good support to express yourself in an easy way. And for me as a coach, I get a quick but simple, playful and detailed insight into what moves my clients and what is important to them. And everybody listening to this podcast can also work with pictures on your own in different situations, even with one as reminder for certain
Yes,
things on your desk.
wonderful. I think a simple but a very uh, creative exercises you've shared. That it's so easy, but it's so simple. And the thing is that we don't pay attention to such simple steps in our lives.
Yes, it's definitely easy and simple and can be a daily routine in your life. Maybe in the morning I choose one of the card. Okay, today I'm in a rush. My transport mean today is a horse. So I
Yeah,
would be very quick. Or what else? And so at weekend maybe you choose a boat, yes, or things like this. Then you have an idea how you feel, yes, and how you can act in the course of the day. This is very, very helpful and very easy.
easy.
And
Easy.
in general, I work with creative means, so I paint with paint and I do painting uh, with my
Wow.
clients, and sometimes we do something which is called therapeutic or creative writing. This is so, so helpful
Mhm.
and easy and can apply it easily at home, yes, by yourself. And you can make your routines for the weekend, for the day, or once a month, or things like this. Make an appointment with you. Today I'm writing, let me say, only one page, how I feel, and so it's so helpful. And yes, you can concentrate what is important in your life.
Wonderful. So, Miss Ute, would you like to share uh, a story or a review of your client where you played a major role and it actually changed their life 360 degree and they were in wow of you that wow, this was so important and so simple and so beautiful, but then they couldn't follow it or they actually just ignored it, but after meeting you they found how important and how simple it is. So would you like to share any story with us?
Yes, I can tell you. Yes, I have a group of women who are painting in my studio. And I knew one of these women. Soon she will be a grandmother, and this causes her, let me say, some problems. Yes, am I such old? I'm so old. I'm a grandmother now, and so on. So we started painting, and she made a wonderful picture, definitely. And my courses are organized in this way. Let me say we have 4 or 5 painting sessions, and the last session we take the pictures which is coming directly from our heart. And she chose this picture she painted the day after the birth of her first grandchild. I did not know. She did not tell us. And then I say to the women, so decorate your picture. I have small hearts cut from paper, some pearl stones, yes, and things like this. And she decorated it and decorated it. And after this process, I always ask, and what's the name of your picture? What's the title? And she told me the title is The Day After the Birth. And it was so helpful for her to accept now I'm at the age of a grandmother, and I very warmly welcome my first grandchild. And she was so congruent in herself and all what caused her problems. Now I'm an old person, I'm an old woman, I'm not that attractive before. Everybody will say, oh, this granny, or things like this. No, it was a wonderful picture. It was yellow and with shimmering colors and so on. And this was so helpful. And this was so helpful. And the title, perfect. Yes, and this is working like this. Mm? Sometimes I have to explain my clients dare to come in my studio. No, I can't paint, and I'm not accustomed to use color. And so, no, come in, free yourself with color, and all what they experience is perfect. And I can see the bright shine in their eyes when the first, not expected picture is finalized. They're all so proud.
Wonderful, wonderful. That is a really heart-touching story that you've shared, and how beautiful it is. Wonderful. So, Dr. Ute, I'm sorry. Ute, as we end our podcast with you, a wonderful, wonderful podcast, so much informative, such a amazing conversation we had. I would lastly like to request you to share your words of mantra or your last message that you would like to share with the viewers.
Then I will tell you, people have not only one talent, people have lots of talents. I'm convinced that people have much more than only one talent, and be open to discover all your talents. This is my very warm wish for all of our audience today.
Beautiful and wonderful, both at one go. So, thank you for joining us to this amazing conversation, Miss Ute Pfeifer. It was really great to have you at our podcast, and I'm sure that our viewers are going to have an amazing session while listening to you, and a lot of insights, and very simple how charisma can actually add on to your entire personality and change your outlook towards your life. I think this was beautiful. I hope I summarized it well in the words.
Yes, thank you for your kind words. And it's me. It's also me to say thank you to you. And it was definitely a pleasure to give you an insight in my knowledge and into my work, and provide you and the audience with practical support and exercises how to develop your own charisma. Definitely. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you for joining us today, Miss Ute. I hope you have a wonderful day ahead, and you keep spreading love and warmth and the amazing job that you are doing. It's really wonderful and beautiful. So may you shine bright, and may you continue to do the great and good work that you're doing. It was absolutely a pleasure to join you today in the podcast.
Thank you so much. And all the best for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us today, Ms. Ute. You have illuminated that charisma is not about being louder, flashier, or different. It's about being deeply, authentically ourselves. You have shown us that when we bring presence, warmth, and openness into the world, we don't just become charismatic, we become unforgettable. And as a leader, an artist, a coach, a mother, and a grandmother, you embody this truth in every role you play. Thank you for inspiring us to believe that charisma can be learned, lived, and shared. Because when we step into our authentic self, we don't just change how others see us, we change how we see ourselves. And our last message to our viewers, this is very, very important. Charisma isn't about being the loudest in the room. It's about making others feel seen, valued, and inspired. The moment you dare to show up as your authentic self, you don't just connect with people, you leave an imprint they will never forget. And this is me, Neetu saying, signing off from Passion Vista Podcast. Is every story is a spark, and every journey is a path to purpose. Until next time, keep questioning, keep growing, and keep living your passion. Stay tuned at Passion Vista Podcast.